Sammy Abraham, Director, Abraham Fertility and Gynec Center. In the relationship between husband and wife, sexual activity has got an important role. It is one of the basic instinct of human that has to be respected. So what you have to understand is that if a woman feels a lack of desire which is interfering with their family life, it has to be looked upon. What I mean to say is that nobody can have sex always. Sometimes they have interest in sex life, sometimes they may lose interest in sex. It is normal. But suppose comes to the level of affecting the relationship between husband and wife, it has to be investigated. The lady has to ask whether I am having a decrease in sexual thoughts and fantasies, where my interest is coming down. If it is affecting our personal life, we have to investigate the causes of it. We know that in a 28 menstrual cycle, all the days ladies don't have sexual interest. Some days they may have interest, some days they may not have interest. So it is very clear that hormone level is affecting the sexual interest. So suppose a person is having a decreased interest, we have to look for the causes of the low sexual interest. Hormone level has to be looked upon. Prolactin, thyroid, our sugar status, all these things affect us. So it can be a part of a medical problem. It can be secondary to the drugs you are taking. Suppose you are taking drugs for hypertension, diabetes, or other diseases. If it is affecting your sexual interest, it has to be looked upon. Our exercise, our way of lifestyle has to be looked upon. Now we have to see whether we are having other associated psychiatric comorbidities like anxiety, depression, all these things has to be looked upon. So the faith in you and your spiritual awakening is very important. Now what you have to understand that in the case of a relationship between husband and wife, it's not something which is lasting for 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 week, like it's something lasting for whole life. So it is very important. Now, in the relationship between husband and wife, so many factors are there. There can be relationship problems, financial problems, health issues in the family. All these things may affect your sexual activity. But whatever be the problem in bed, if you have a proper communication and proper expression of love, that will be remembered and rewarded. We have to understand that there are love hormones like oxytocin, dopamine, all these things. What they do is gives you a very soothing effect. That is why the nature has made two things pleasurable in life. One is eating and one is sexual habits. All these things create neurochemicals which are having very good, which gives you a very good experience. That is why humans have got intelligence towards sex. So what I mean to say is that if there is a proper expression of love between the partners, once there is a release of this love hormone, what will happen is their bonding becomes more stronger. So every partner has to be more aware of that. Now you can see as years goes by, you have to ask how many days, how many times a day you are touching your partner physically, hugging, kissing. All these things releases this love hormone which increases the bond between the partners. So this expression of love is very important. Don't say that I love you in my heart. No, the love has to be expressed and the love hormone has to be released for this act to be more evident. So what I mean to say is that if there is a decreased desire or if it is to the level that is affecting your family life, its cause has to be found out and has to be treated accordingly. Otherwise, it can lead to problems in life. You know that suppose you don't get food somewhere, you may go to another place and try to get it. Like that, if you don't get the release of these neurochemicals, what can happen is that other persons can indulge in between and cause problems. So what I mean to say is that expression of love, mutual expression of love and release of this love hormone is very important. And if you face problems in that, you have to see a doctor and treat it.